Hello guys, welcome to Apple Questions Explained and welcome to the second part of the series where we've been talking about the best Intel Macs to buy by dividing things into three aspects, that is form factor, performance and coexistence of form factor and performance. And the first two aspects, that is the form factor and performance, I've done it in a previous video where we have talked about two Macs from each aspect, that is two Macs from the form factor wise and 2 Max from the performance wise. So please check the link in the description below so that you can watch the part 1 of the series. And today we're going to talk about 4 of the best Intel Macs that we have selected to fit in the category of coexistence of form factor and performance. And the second aspect is that it should be having 80 to 85 percentage of Apple Silicon's performance and have enough of a cost savings or have a can have a dramatically lower price than Apple Silicon if the performance is not up to the mark. So please make sure you subscribe so that you can watch more content and many unanswered questions regarding Apple. So without any further ado, let's start. So one of the 4 Intel Macs that I've selected to fit in the category of coexistence of form factor and performance is the MacBook Air from 2013. Now you might be asking why? Because this particular MacBook Air from 2013 is not even 40% of Apple Silicon's performance. Well, I selected this particular MacBook Air because it is dramatically cheaper than the M2 MacBook Air, which is of course a very fast and good laptop. And along with that, this particular MacBook Air from 2013, it's dramatically cheap. It is $800 cheaper, and along with that, you have a great package. Like it has an excellent battery life, and as with all the MacBook Air models, it is very portable, and it's very good day-to-day performance. They had no qualms in giving the Apple MacBook Air 13-inch mid 2013, the MacBook we are talking about, the editor's choice for ultra portable notebook. So basically, this MacBook Air from 2013 was elected as the editor's choice for ultra portable notebooks because it also had over 15 hours of battery life, even with the Core i5 processor, which took up a lot of energy, consumed a lot of energy. But as with all MacBook Air models, it is light and portable, even though it has a large battery and good battery life, etc. And one more thing is that you have access to the latest software. It can run up to Big Sur through the App Store legally, and or you can use the Open Core Legacy Patcher and also run Ventura in this particular MacBook Air from 2013. The link to which is in the description below, the Open Core Legacy Patcher. And although it's not comparable to Apple Silicon, as I told earlier, it costs only $248.68 or 20,560 rupees and 74 paise for 1.5 gigahertz Intel processor and a 512 gigabytes of flash storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM. And it is very capable for web browsing, document typing, and a very portable option to go up your business. That's the reason why we have selected this particular MacBook in the category of coexistence of form factor and performance. Next up, we have the Mac Mini from 2018, which remains to be the last Intel Mac Mini. And this particular Mac Mini is being touted as more upgrade friendly than the previous model, which had its RAM soldered directly to the motherboard. But this 2018 model offers more traditional SODIMM slots, basically the RAM slots, so you can easily swap out the RAM, allowing you to upgrade the unit after purchase. And as with every Mac Mini model, it is very user friendly and can be plugged into any industry standard monitor. And the design is very small, which means if you find a way to get your Mac Mini connected to a small screen like a tablet screen or an iPad, then it becomes more portable than even a MacBook Air. And it can run Ventura without the need of any patcher. It is very cheap considering that we get a package which is just $470 or 38,854 rupees and 20 paise to get to the Mac OS and experience it with the quad core 3.0 gigahertz Core i5 with 6 cores of CPU and 512 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigs of RAM, which you can upgrade yourself. Next up, we have the MacBook Pro from 2020, which was the last MacBook or Macs in general with Intel processors, and it was a spec bunk basically, and it was just before Apple Silicon. And we have chosen this computer because it is a powerhouse. It has a turbo speed up to 4.8 gigahertz, and it can do many tasks such as photo editing, video editing, and finally, regarding many people's requests, Apple replaced the butterfly keyboard with the magic keyboard in this generation, and you could experience a touch bar and an Intel Core i5 10th gen, which has a turbo speed up to 4.8 gigahertz, as I told you earlier, and you can experience the touch bar. And though nobody liked the touch bar, this was one of the last 14 or 16 inches to have the touch bar, and they can also run Ventura without the need of any patcher. And but nobody gave this generation much of an importance because Apple Silicon, everybody were waiting for it, and that took the whole limelight. That's why this was not considered much of a important MacBook and was given less importance. And one more thing is that this, when kept under a certain amount of load, it got thermal throttled, which means one of the cores were disabled or certain amount of cores were disabled, and you can get them for a pretty cheap price because $390 or 32,240 rupees and 32 paise is a pretty low price for a MacBook that is this capable, except the fact that you don't have ports. That's the only disadvantage you have with this. The good thing about is that we can find a very good model of that, because people are getting trying to get rid of that particular MacBook because there was not a good use of it because Apple Silicon came by then. But it's a very good laptop which thermal throttled only when you put a lot of load on it. But $390 or 32,240 rupees or 32 paise, and for a 512 gigabyte of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM for a laptop, it's not a bad deal. Because but you, if you want to go to Apple Silicon, this is not the best option. You can go straight to Apple Silicon, but if you want the benefit of an x86 architecture, then this is one of the best laptops you can get after the MacBook from 2015, the 15-inch. The last Mac we'll be exploring in this video with respect to the category of coexistence of form factor and performance is the 5K iMac from 2017, which is a 27-inch iMac. The 27-inch iMac's 5K display remains the most color accurate monitor we've ever seen, thus in an all-in-one, and the performance is very much improved than the previous generation. And it's got two USB-C ports or Thunderbolt connections, and we can drive more external displays and faster file data transfers. It has a lot of ports. You can have access to one of the most beautiful displays, which is the 5K Retina with a lot of pixel density, color accuracy, and a quad core i5 with a 3.7 gigahertz of a processor standard speed. And they are very cheap at just $400 or 33,065 rupees and 64 paise for 112 gigabytes of storage and 16 gigs of RAM. And with all these Intel Macs, you also have the benefits of x86 architecture, as I discussed earlier. And I will also upload all the links to all the eBay listings in the description below so that you can buy it if you are interested. So that's all for the video, guys. Thanks for watching till the end, and don't forget to subscribe to watch more content and many unanswered questions regarding Apple. And also don't forget to leave a like and share it with your friends or some of those tech fans, and I'll meet you in the next video.